Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, sisters, we can make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, sisters, we can make such sweet harmony.
Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me?
I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, sisters, we can make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions. With all of our voices and all of our visions, with all of our voices and all of our visions, sisters, we can make such sweet harmony.
Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you,
I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, sisters, we can make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, sisters, we can make such sweet harmony. Sisters, we can make such sweet harmony. Sisters, we can make such. Sisters, we can make such sweet harmony. Sisters, we can make such sweet harmony.
Sisters, we can make such sweet harmony. Sisters, we can make such sweet harmony.
Sisters, we can make such sweet harmony. Sisters, we can make such sweet harmony.
Yes.
Hey.
Woo! Air five.
Yeah, lay it out.
Air five.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
Spirit draw near. Spirit draw near.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Spirit draw near. Spirit
Please listen to these opening words by Jeff May. Come, gather, not in a common space, sharing a physical closeness we long for, precluded by wise choice, but come, gather into this common time and a common space. We need to be together. We yearn for connection. We hunger for familiar faces of friends. The sound of shared voices proclaiming who we are and where we are going. That which resonates with our hopes, our dreams, and our values. Come, gather. We are here in this space made of all spaces. We share our becoming in the moment. Good morning. My name is Don Mears, and I'm a member of UUCD. It's my privilege this morning to welcome you to the virtual worship of the Unitarian Universalists of Central Delaware. We're so glad that you're here this morning. We know that our experience of this day and of this sacred time of connection will be enhanced because of your presence. We are glad that you're here. We continue to be grateful for the technology that allows us to continue to meet during these times of social and physical distancing. Thank you for your patience and grace when we have technical glitches or delays. Consider them, as you will, invitations to take a deep breath. In addition to our worship each Sunday at 10, we meet also on Tuesday nights at 7 for a more informal time of check-in and sharing. Please consider joining us for that gathering. And for all of our connections, we encourage you to invite a friend to join you and get to know our UUCD community. There is certainly room in our hearts and our spaces for more people who are searching for a liberal, diverse, non-judgmental spiritual community. This morning, we are very happy to welcome to our virtual pulpit Saeed of the Congregational Life Staff of the Central East region of the Unitarian Universalist Association. She has a very interesting bio, and I'd like to share it with you now. Saeed graduated in May of 2018 with her third graduate degree, a Master's of Divinity from Harvard Divinity School. She also has an MS in Conflict Analysis and Resolution from George Mason University and a MA in Peace Studies from the International Christian University in Tokyo, Japan. Born in Manchester, England, she moved to the USA when she was 16. As a dual citizen, she grew up in a multilingual Pashtuni home with the fortune of learning Urdu, Punjabi, and English. Her upbringing inspired her love for traveling. Hence, she has traveled to 31 countries so far. From 2013 to 2015, she lived in Tokyo, Japan as a Rotary Peace Fellow. Her research took her to Yangon, Myanmar to document ethno-religious tensions between Burmese Muslims and Buddhists, which was published in the book, Physical Approaches to Peacekeeping, Putting Theory to Work. She became interested in Unitarian Universalism after being hired as a director of youth ministry for the UU Church of Arlington, where she frequently was asked the question, what is a Muslim doing working in a church? Since then, she's been immersed in UU communities. She was the president of Diverse Revolutionary Unitarian Universalist Multicultural Ministries, a collective of UU, Black, Indigenous, people of color from 2019 to 2020. Professionally, she's had 13 years of work experience working with youth development, religion and peacekeeping, interfaith dialogue, leadership and conflict resolution with organizations including the UU Ministers Association, University of Pennsylvania, Interfaith Alliance and International Organization for Migration, amongst others. San enjoys coffee, chocolate, pizza, and Pakistani Indian food and loves meeting new people. She looks forward to connecting with all of youth through the CER. Now, I invite you to take a deep breath and listen to these sincere words of welcome. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you've been, whatever you're doing, whatever your religious beliefs are and aren't, And wherever you physically are on the planet right now, you are welcome to this spiritual community. However you move in this world, how much or how little is in your bank account or wallet, and however you are feeling in this moment, you and all of who you are welcome in this spiritual community. We're all enhanced by being together.
The chalice lighting today is by Bear W. Kolasuka. As we light the chalice today, may our souls become its hearth. We join our hearts to the one great flame of bright compassion, beloved community, and fervent justice. May we become lanterns to the world, lighting the way for all. Thank you, Carrie. I can't do that with one hand. Please join me for the unison affirmation that we speak together each week to remind ourselves of why we are here. The words are in the chat box so that we can read them together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Hi everyone, you're just in time for another great story. Click that subscribe button for more. I Am Peace, a book of mindfulness by Susan Verde, art by Peter H. Reynolds. There are times when I worry about what might happen next and what happened before. The thoughts in my head are like rushing water, and I feel like a boat with no anchor. Being carried away. I give myself a moment. I take a breath, and then I tell myself, it's all right. I feel the ground beneath my feet and steady myself. And start to notice the here and the now. My thoughts begin to settle. My mind begins to clear. I am peace. I can watch my worries gently pop and disappear. I let things go. I can say what I feel inside out loud. I know myself. I can share kindness with others. I make a difference. I can hug a tree and thank it for its beauty and strength. I connect to nature. I can watch the clouds make shapes against the sky. I know wonder. I can taste and smell and touch and hear and see what is all around me. I use my senses. I can feel my breath fill my whole body. I tune into me. Now the water is still. I have found my anchor, and everything is all right. I don't need to worry about before or after. I am in this moment. I am peace. Now I share my peace with others and hope that it is carried away to those who need it. And I dream we are peace.
Hello, good morning, everyone. For our UU moment, I wanted to share about our 250th anniversary of Universalism. In 1816, there was a moment while John Murray was preaching about Universalism when all of a sudden, someone threw a stone through the chapel window. He responded by picking up the stone and saying, "This argument is solid and weighty, but it is neither rational nor convincing." Hence, rooting down in his convictions of universalism. This year, we mark the 250th anniversary of John Murray's famous 1770 sermon in Good Luck, New Jersey, that gave rise or birth to universalist ideas. There will be a virtual sesquicentennial celebration this upcoming weekend to celebrate 2.5 centuries of Universalist contributions, hosted by Murray Grove Retreat Center and supported by the Central East Region and the Unitarian Universalist Association. I hope to see you there.
When we are physically together, we generally invite you to come forward and light a candle and share with us your joys or concerns. Today, we'll adapt this slightly and ask you to share very briefly what is most in your mind and heart right now, and light a candle in your own space. Through the action of sharing and kindling the flame, we give energy to our best thoughts, meditations, sympathies, celebrations, and prayers. We hold these as sacred in our collective hearts. At this time, we invite you to change your view to gallery view in the upper right corner of your screen so that you can see everyone who is here. As you feel led, please unmute your microphone and share your joy or concern and light your candle if you have one. You can watch the mute signals on the lower left of each person's video stream to see if anyone else is unmuted. It's best if we share one at a time. Please mute your mic after you have shared. We light one final candle for the joys and concerns that were not spoken by those of us here, and in solidarity with others in our community who could not be with us today. A central part of our worship, in person and online, is the opportunity we have to practice the art of generosity. Our gifts to UUCD are what allow this congregation to thrive with a common vision to nurture our spirits, build community, and change the world. We are grateful to you for the many ways you support our community, including financial pledges and offerings. Your gifts truly translate into lives changed. Every part of our ministry, from the worship that grounds us in our values, to the community gatherings that connect us, to our children's education, to our social justice outreach and actions, we are supported by your gifts. Right now, our congregation is in a time of creative growth as we have started our new year. Individuals are imagining ways to live our mission, and this is exciting. Your giving affirms and supports this creative moment, and we know will impact lives in the future. Thank you so much. For those who are making pledges or want to contribute to this community, you may continue to write checks and mail them to us, or you can give online. There are instructions to do both these things on our website at uucd.org. Just click support UUCD in the menu bar. You can do that now during this offertory song, or anytime that's convenient.
As we sit together in this moment of centering, let us remember to breathe deeply in this stillness. Let us hold in all the crevices and creases of our heart those people, family, and friends who face daily injustices. Let us hold close and remember those dealing with apocalyptic wildfires leaving red and orange skies. Remember those who are dealing with systemic oppression. Let us remember and pray for healing for those who suffer from health problems and feel afraid during this pandemic for their lives. Let us remember the memory of those who have passed and people who inspire us, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Let us hold in our minds and hearts all the travelers, young and old, without homes, and those searching for a better place to call home across borders. Let us pray for the ones who are here, the ones who are not here, for those who are born into the margins. As we breathe, let us honor and hold all the complexity of the times we live in, and hold on to a radical hope that pushes past the cynicism that might sneak into our hearts in difficult times like these and make us feel alone. May that radical hope lift us to keep moving toward a collective vision of beloved community. I invite you now to dwell in a moment of stillness as we listen to hymn 1009 titled Meditation on Breathing. The words to the hymn will be in the video, so there's no need to have any hymnal nearby. Feel free to find a spot to focus on or close your eyes as you're comfortable, and remember to breathe deeply.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe out. When I breathe out, I breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation to speak with your wonderful fellowship today. You've heard a lot about me already in the bio, so I might touch on some of those things and expand a little in this sermon. My pluralist journey expanded in 2009 when I was hired as the director of youth programs at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Arlington in Virginia, even though I was a Muslim. Now I identify as a UU Muslim. And I'm really excited that there are a growing group of ordained UU Muslim ministers in our association today. Back then, I dove headfirst into work and learning about Unitarian Universalism, mostly from teenagers I was supporting. At the same time, I remember visiting my Pakistani Muslim parents in that first month I was hired and witnessing a complete parental freakout. Why? Because my younger brother had Googled Unitarian Universalists only to stumble upon websites declaring it was a cult. Unknown to me, he had convinced my parents I had been hired by a cult. To some degree, I don't even think my brother cared if I had joined a cult. He just enjoyed watching my parents freak out on me. It turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I was finally able to sit with my family and talk to them about why I really liked working with Unitarian Universalists. Fast forward 11 years later, I am now in the ministerial track and your primary contact for the Central East region, where I've been working since July. I've been thinking recently about the ways the work I do has been fulfilling and meaningful. But after 8 Zoom calls in one day, I felt like I hit a wall and I needed more balance in my week. I've also, in the last 2 weeks, lost 2 beloved colleagues and mentors within Unitarian Universalism, Elandria Williams and Reverend David Petit. And so moving in this space and time, having lots of Zoom, lots of conversations, but yet navigating grief at the same time is really tricky, it's hard. And in times of pandemic, realizing that we live in a world with crisis, wildfires, and so many other things happening, I'm curious about how I can make balance in my life be something more central, so that the impact I'm having in the world is meaningful. I'm a nerd. I have 3 master's degrees, as you heard, and I was thinking about getting a 4th. But I find myself pausing at that thought and thinking, Sana, it's a time of pandemic. The best way to make sure you survive is to reduce stress and keep wearing a mask, washing hands, and social distancing. So doing a 4th degree seems like it might be a bit too stressful. And as I was reflecting on all of this and what it means to find inner peace and balance in a time of pandemic, I found myself reading over 2 stories that I want to share with you this morning. These stories are from the book Everyday Sacred, a powerful collection of spiritually reflective moments written by Sue Bender. The first story is called Empty, and the second story is called Overflowing Tea. After I read the first story, there will be a moment of reflection, and then I will move into the second story. This first story is titled Empty. I was giving a talk one day to a group of quilters. Quilters love slides. I am awkward around machinery and don't have a friendly relationship with slides. By chance that morning, I opened the slide box and found nothing there, just the empty tray. I am empty, I said, stunned, startled by the truth of that statement. When I first read this story, it made me reflect on the places that I feel empty. It's an overwhelming time in many ways right now. There's this weird feeling of being overwhelmed and yet at the same time not having certainty and knowing enough of what will happen in the next few months. Yet when some of us think about being empty, we may feel scared. Does it mean I don't have enough life experiences? Does being empty feel like loneliness and having no friends? Those are all real and valid feelings. Feeling empty can be hard because it feels like maybe nothingness. But when I think about emptiness these days, I find myself reflecting on the potential in being empty. As poet Jalaluddin Muhammad Rumi, or known just as Rumi to many, stated, "We come spinning out of nothingness, scattering stars like dust." To me, emptiness is not complete nothingness. It doesn't mean that nothing exists at all. Instead, what it could mean is that there is potential for something amazing, maybe a deeper experience. The Dalai Lama once said, "We can never obtain peace in the outer world around us until we make peace within ourselves." To me, this is a call to find balance, process the things weighing us down internally, and explore the ways that we participate in the outer world. It is also a call to think about the impact we have if we don't take care of ourselves internally first. It also means that things may not exist the way our grasping self supposes they do. The grasping self being the part of us that wants control and wants to know what will happen next. And that makes sense to me these days because right now, sometimes things just don't make sense the way I would like them to. I invite you to sit with that first story and reflect on what things came up in your mind. Maybe notice the places that you feel empty. What does emptiness feel like for you? While you reflect, I'm going to move into the second story by Sue Bender. The second story is titled Overflowing Tea. Over time, I've read 5 books that have told 5 slightly different versions of the same story. I call it Overflowing Tea. The setting changes, but the cast of characters remains the same. There's always a wise Zen monk or hermit living in a remote place and an earnest student who has made a pilgrimage to see him, traveling a long distance to find his teacher. The student arrives seeking wisdom. The serious student, his head filled with questions, is annoyed and becomes more and more frustrated when his teacher refuses to answer his questions. "Pour me a cup of tea," the monk eventually says, "and I will tell you when to stop." The dutiful student starts pouring the tea and pouring the tea. The bowl fills and he is horrified, watching as the tea finally spills out of the cup and over everything. Exasperated, the student finds the courage to speak. "Can't you see the cup is full? It can hold no more." "And so it is with you," the wise teacher answers. "Your mind is full of too many things." Only when you are empty will there be room for more knowledge to come in. Sue Bender reflects, I am empty no longer seemed a doomed prophecy. I would begin with an empty bowl. Where are the places that you feel like you're overflowing with too much stuff? Maybe too much Zooming, too many emails, too many books to read and things you want to do. These stories make me reflect on the ways I bring myself to peace-building endeavors. We are constantly asked to do things, and sometimes saying no to requests is part of that emptying process when you're too full. But also personally in life right now, I feel like there's a lot of change, and that may be just making us feel so full and overwhelmed. Yet it could be good to feel full too. On Thursday, I met a chaplain who described her metaphor for chaplaincy as being a teacup, like our story, that is overflowing with tea into a saucer. But she said she was overflowing with good things, and the saucer was a metaphor for the people she is taking care of. So she sees the tea spilling into the saucer as a place where she's sharing some of the good things with her flock. I also sit with what it means to feel empty inside and how to think about it as room for growth and learning rather than a doomed prophecy. As Lao Tzu states, best be still, best be empty. In stillness and emptiness, we find where to abide. Talking and moving, we lose the place. I'm not saying to find inner peace is to be stagnant. Minot Judson Savage, a Unitarian minister, wrote in 1882, peace is not stagnation, nor simple, aimless rest. 'Tis tireless movement onward, impelled by some high quest. Here's another way to think about it. When I did my first master's degree in conflict analysis and resolution, I had to take an introductory course for a semester titled Reflective Practice. We incorporated a practice of questioning as a mediator. For example, asking ourselves questions like, what feelings are coming up for me when I'm listening to two conflict parties? Am I stereotyping one of the conflict parties? Am I being racist? Am I being biased? Where am I feeling triggered? Our implicit biases are hard to recognize when we operate in the outer world with people around us, but we all have them. I believe that in order to be the best I can be in moments of crisis and conflict, in moments of dialogue with people with differing views than myself, I need to do the internal work to process the things that impact my ability to be present and know the biases I carry and commit to working on them. We need to process the things that fill us up and empty the things that no longer serve us. My highest quest is for our collective liberation, where people are living in our beloved community free from oppression. And I know I can't do that alone. It takes all of us. It takes all of us committing to do the internal work, as well as the work in the streets to bring about true peace. So as we move through today, friends, may we be mindful of the things that sustain us and soothe us. May we reflect on the way emptiness within may allow us to lean into new experiences and be mindful of where we feel full. May we find moments of stillness, peace, and balance. In the next few days, months, years, may we have the courage to say, I'm too full, and be able to lighten the load. And may we be accompanied on this journey that ebbs and flows like a river, with a community that strengthens and comforts us as we move towards our highest quest. May it be so. Amen.
Please join me as we recite the words for extinguishing our sacred chalice. The words are posted in your chat box. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Wendell Berry writes in a poem, "The Peace of Wild Things, when despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be. I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars, waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world, and I am free. As we depart, may you find time to lay down and rest in the grace of the world. Outdoors, where the peace of the wild things inspire inner peace, stillness, and healing within your spirit. Go in peace, friends."
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.